History is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, I hope everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday.
Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crews here telling you.
This is the first time in a long they haven't let it. See the sum of your pay.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. History is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, I hope everyone can enjoy.
Causing the storms Thursday.
Minutes before.
Channel 2 News begins right now with breaking news.
Breaking news from Northwest Houston. One person is dead after a fire at the Garden City Apartments along West Montgomery and West Gulf Bank Road. Houston firefighters tell us the fire only lasted about 10 minutes. It is unclear at this time how many units were on fire or what the victim's cause of death was. We have a news team headed to the scene right now, and we will bring you a live report. Also breaking now, a DPS trooper opens fire on a group of robbery suspects in Northwest Houston. Now police are looking into this.
Yeah, this happened at a store off of the Northwest Freeway in Sherwood Lane. Channel 2's Jacob Rascone is live there now with the latest. Jacob?
Yeah, Christine and Keith, it happened right here at the AT&T store. We're told that 3 men walked in. They were armed. They tried to steal something. A DPS trooper was inside because he was working there at a second job. This is according to a HPD officer on scene. As you can tell, we've got special investigations here, ATF, DPS, Houston Police. We're told that then the suspects, they ran away and then at some point ended up over here. There are a couple of investigators over here because as we walk past, we could see there is a handgun there in the grass in front of the Los Cucos Mexican Cafe. So those 3 people who robbed this store, I'm not sure if they got away with anything, are still on the run, and they are still looking for those people. And they're going to hold a news conference here in about 15 minutes. And among the questions we'll ask is whether or not there was an actual shootout and whether anybody was hit. At this time, it doesn't appear anybody was hit, and that's the information we have so far, is that while the DPS trooper opened fire, that it looks like nobody was hit, but we'll look for confirmation for that in the news conference coming up in about 10 minutes. Reporting live here at the shooting. Jacob Rascone, KPRC Channel 2 News.
We'll look for your updates, Jacob. Thank you. And now to the dramatic drop in temperatures, and it finally feels more like winter outside.
Yeah, like boom, within 24 hours, right? Quite a drop. We're also seeing winter weather in parts of the Lone Star State, including snow that's fallen in Graham, which is 90 miles west of Fort Worth. Wichita Falls and Abilene also seeing snow. We turn to Chief Meteorologist Frank Billingsley with more on this winter-like weather we're seeing out there. Man, it really changed fast.
Look at this difference. 24 hours ago, it was 32, 33, 34 degrees warmer than it is right now, which is to say around 70. And now, as you know, it's in the 40s. It's chilly out there. Triangle Energy Camera, not much to go with this as far as rain. A lot of clouds. Temperatures 48, 44 in Tomball, 49 in Pearland with a nice strong west-northwest wind at about 12 miles an hour. So it knocks it down to the low 40s. 36 in Dallas, 32 in San Angelo, 30 in Oklahoma City. This cold air continues to surge our way, and it's really not going to warm up much until we finally start getting to Friday afternoon. So keep the jackets handy the next couple of days. You're going to need them. There's a tornado watch back across Louisiana into Mississippi until 6 o'clock, and there are winter storm warnings across parts of North Texas. They've had 4 or 5 inches of snow, and they're going to see 1 to 2 inches more before that's all said and done. So there's some chance of a little winter weather in parts of our area later tonight. This is 12:30 in the morning. You can see that strip right across College Station up toward Crockett in Houston County. That's 2 in the morning. None of it gets close to the Houston area, but we may see a little burst of rain before it's all said and done. So watch for that. We do have sunshine, though, coming back our way. So cloudy jacket weather, some overnight precip, and a very cold morning. Wait until you see the temperatures for tomorrow straight ahead. Christine?
All right, Frank, thank you. Remember, you at home can track the temperatures and rain chances and winter weather wherever you go by downloading Frank's free forecast weather app. Search KPRC in your app store. Now to more breaking news. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper is dead after a shooting at a rest stop near Palm City. That's about 40 miles north of West Palm Beach. The Highway Patrol says the shooting happened at a rest stop near I-95. Right now, they are not saying if a suspect has been arrested.
New at 4, deputies have arrested a man accused of forcing a 14-year-old into prostitution. Prosecutors charged 21-year-old DeMarquise McGee with trafficking, sexual assault of a child, and compelling prostitution. Harris County Precinct 1 Constable deputies say the 14-year-old ran away from home in July. Investigators tell us they believe McGee forced her to work as a prostitute from then until December. The victim told deputies that in that time, McGee physically and sexually assaulted her. Investigators are looking into whether there are more victims tied to McGee. After months of investigation and debate, the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump has come to an end just moments ago.
Yeah, the Senate voted in the last hour to acquit the president on both articles of impeachment. The president was charged with abusing power by pressuring Ukraine to investigate Democratic rival Joe Biden. He was also charged with obstruction of Congress after the administration's defiance of the House's request for testimony. Republican Senator Mitt Romney declared earlier today that he would break the solid wall of support and vote to impeach the president.
Corrupting an election to keep oneself in office is perhaps the most abusive and destructive violation of one's oath of office that I can imagine.
The investigation into the president's actions may not be over. House Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler said former National Security Advisor John Bolton and others might still be subpoenaed.
The Iowa Democratic Party released an update to the caucus results from Tuesday. The numbers show little change in the candidates' positions. Right now, 75% of the results have been reported. Former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Governor Pete Buttigieg is ahead of Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is in third place, followed by former Vice President Joe Biden. These results were delayed because of technical issues. Coming up at 4:30, we'll take a closer look at the fallout as the candidates move on for the New Hampshire primary.
Now to the new developments on a crash that killed an El Campo High School student. 2 people have now been charged. You can see them in these photos. One of them is accused of serving alcohol to minors, and investigators are looking for a third suspect. Channel 2's Hannah McKenzie is live in Rosenberg near the place where the minors were served. Hannah?
Yeah, so one of those charged was actually friends of the victim. He was driving the vehicle that night. And another who was charged today is a server who was working here at Brewing's Sports Bar and Grill off the Southwest Freeway. Edith Melendez, a server at Brewing's in Rosenberg, is charged with serving alcohol to a minor and over-serving an intoxicated person. Her actions, according to Fort Bend deputies, playing a part in the death of 17-year-old James Ocanyas Jr. Ocañas was killed in a fiery crash January 12th on Lum Road, just feet from John Coulter's home.
I can't think of anything worse than losing a child. I just, it's not the natural order.
The teen behind the wheel that night, 19-year-old Lee Cruz Trevino Jr., survived. He was pulled from the burning vehicle by Martin Montalvo, who lives nearby.
He said, "What happened? I must have put him in there. Aliens must have put him in there. We put him in there." Well, after that, I don't know. He just took off running.
Trevino is now charged with accident involving death, with additional charges pending toxicology results. Deputies are still searching for a third person connected to the fatal crash, 25-year-old Vicente Joshua Castillo IV. He also goes by Ben. And if you know where Castillo is, you're asked to contact the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office. The number is 281-341-4665. Again, that's 281-341-4665. And we'll have more on this story coming up tonight at 6. Reporting live in Rosenberg, Hannah McKenzie, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Hannah, thank you. Developing now, a judge has denied a request by David Temple to be granted a third trial in connection with the murder of his wife 2 decades ago. In August, a Harris County jury convicted Temple of murder for a second time in the 1999 death of his pregnant wife Belinda, but the jury could not agree on a sentence. So a new jury is supposed to be called to decide on a punishment. The sentencing phase of the trial is set for March 26th. Temple's attorney says he plans to go forward with an appeal.
New at 4, a mother on the run. Police are searching for a woman who abandoned her 8-year-old at an Humble store that she had just stolen from. 27-year-old Maria Rangel is wanted for abandonment, endangering a child without intent to return. Rangel is no stranger to law enforcement. This is a previous mugshot on record. According to court documents, Rangel and others were shoplifting at the Party City off Highway 59 in Townsend on Saturday. At some point, the 8-year-old wandered into the candy aisle, and that's when Rangel and her accomplices took off. Fort Bend County Sheriff's deputies have arrested 3 men accused of breaking into several cars near Katy. Investigators say around 2 o'clock this morning, they received a call of several cars being broken into along Walkabout Way near South Mason Road. When they arrived, they pulled over a suspicious car where they found 28-year-old John Johnson and 17-year-old William Thrasher from Kentucky, along with a minor. Detectives say inside the car, they found several stolen gift cards and credit cards. Investigators say the 3 may be connected to other crimes across the area.
Remembering a woman who served the city of Houston for more than 7 decades.
Coming up, what the daughter of Anna Russell said today about her mom. But first, here's a look at some of your traffic times about 4:10 on this afternoon. If you're heading to the Woodlands, only going to take you about 30 minutes from downtown Houston on the North Freeway. If you're heading west towards Katy, about the same time, you're looking at 29 minutes from downtown Houston and 16 minutes on 288 down to Pearland.
Donation today.
We're following breaking news involving the Texas Southern women's basketball team.
Punishment being handed down after a brawl broke out during a game on Monday night. Sports director Randy McEvoy joining us now with a look at that video.
Yeah, it's starting to flow in now. We see the video on social media. It's something you don't like to see in college basketball. As you mentioned, the incident took place Monday night in Montgomery, Alabama. Texas Southern's women's basketball team there to play Alabama State when the altercation broke out between the two teams. After an investigation, the Southwestern Athletic Conference has announced the suspension of 10 student athletes along with 2 managers. Now let's take a look at the video. This is one angle of what happened. It surfaced on social media. Several angles now. The conference has since reviewed other pieces of video. The SWAC in a release today determined that 5 members of TSU's team along with 5 from Alabama State along with 2 managers were found in violation. In addition to the suspensions, the SWAC office has also levied fines of $5,000 to each school, Texas Southern and Alabama State. Now here's a look at the student athletes, what the SWAC has announced that the players suspended now. Again, 5 for each team. For TSU, it's Jakaylin Jones, Siani Cryer, Tamario White, Brittany Gabriel, and Nia Mitchell. Cryer and Gabriel are suspended 1 game, while Jones, Mitchell, and White will now sit out the next 2 games against Prairie View, A&M, and Jackson State. So that's the latest from the SWAC office and both schools. The SWAC office acted quickly with these suspensions. Right now, though, we're waiting on a statement any time now from TSU Athletics Director Kevin Granger along with TSU head coach Cynthia Cooper. But again, suspensions in place. You don't like to see that in college basketball. TSU, by the way, we did some research. 2015, they were involved in an altercation as well with Southern. Back during the conference tournament, so hopefully this won't continue.
Yeah, a lot of young athletes look up to those athletes, so it's tough to see those videos.
It happened right towards the end of the game.
Yeah. All right, Randy, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you want to switch gears?
Yes,
we do.
Please.
Yes.
What do you got there?
National Weather Person's Day.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, is that the day?
Finally arrived.
People looking out for you.
I know this is Three Brothers Bakery. Look
it
at
was
that.
yesterday,
they came
right?
through. Like,
and edible arrangements.
Yeah. You dropped all those hints.
What
It's really all week long, you know, every day.
Just kept saying triple male siblings. There you go. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous?
That's a good-looking cake.
It really
beautiful.
If we had smell-o-vision, oh my gosh, the sugar on this.
Zing! You wouldn't be able to wind us down until Friday.
So this guy, John Jeffries, it's his birthday, February 5th, and he was much more than just a weather nerd back in the 1700s. He was a doctor. He went up in balloons.
Wow, in the 1700s.
Yes, one of the first people to take weather measurements in a balloon. Went over the English Channel in a balloon.
Wow.
I write all about him in my blog.
The impressive Mr. Jeffries.
Really quite the character. So go clicktohouston.com/weather and check out on John Jeffries. That's why we have this. And I don't know how long it's been going on, but since I've been a weatherman, and that was 1982. So I remember.
You've been taking advantage of it.
Every year since 1982. And it could not get any better. I know. Thank you to all of you folks that said stuff yet. In the meantime, it's cloudy, it's cold, that's about it. I've got tornado watches back out toward Mississippi, but not for us. We're quiet. High tree pollen today, believe it or not. Ragweed and grass coming in with nothing. Mold spores in the low range. There's a look at Tri-Eagle Energy Camera. It is a gray day. 48, northwest winds at 10. That's going to keep it cool. 77% the humidity, so a lot of 40s. In fact, everywhere you look, the hot spot's 50 down on the island and out toward Beaumont. So 42 to 48, 49 is fairly common. And there's the north wind, 10, 15 miles an hour. So that's going to continue. We even have gusts to 20, 23, and that's what's going to keep it chilly. So your power planner into tonight, 44 at 7, 43 at 9, and then we get into some slight rain chances and maybe some winter precip out toward College Station as we go into early tomorrow morning, as we'll take a look at. Futurecast temperatures tomorrow morning, by the way, 34, 33 out toward Brenham and Columbus. We're at 36 to 38, and then highs tomorrow don't get very high. By noon, we're at 45, 46. Into the afternoon, 52. So it remains cool for Thursday. So here's the future cast close up. There's the cloud cover. I want to widen this up and put a pause point right here out toward College Station. This is 11:30 tonight. So as we go into the overnight, there's 1 a.m. and then right on until about 2, and then it's gone. So it's a very tight window of potential snow out toward College Station. The rest of us get rain. So if you're way out to the west, you may see a little something. Winter storm warnings continue way out west. There's that tornado watch I was talking about. So that's for those folks there. In between, cloud cover for us. So in the future cast, this high takes over by tomorrow afternoon. It stays with us for Friday, warms us up a little Friday. A lot more on Saturday, and it was going to be a wonderful weekend. It's a little fly in the ointment. This front's going to drop in for a 20% chance of rain on Saturday. That goes up a tad on Sunday, and then Monday gets wet. In fact, I've got a lot of percentages for rain in the 7-day and into the 10-day, as you'll see. So tomorrow is our cold one. We get a little warmer Friday, then we're in the 70s, and that's, I guess, the upside. As I tell you, winter is going to last 2 days, and then it's gone. So here's a look at your forecast. 38 for 2 nights, maybe as low as 36. Out west, even a little colder. So 38 Thursday and Friday, 52 to 66 for Thursday and Friday. And then we're in the 70s, and we stay in the 70s all the way through. We got 20, 30, and then 40% chances of rain, and some chance of rain all the way through next week, because we just can't get a real system to come in and take this out of here. Valentine's Day, 76. Warm hearts. Warm hearts, cold bluebell. What can I say?
Exactly. Great combination.
That's right.
All right, we'll be right back. Thank you, Frank.
NBC.
We continue to follow breaking news.
A news conference underway now after a DPS trooper fired at robbery suspects in northwest Houston. Let's listen in.
Or of our trooper that were involved in this shooting. Like I say, we're out here with our crime scene unit, our special investigation team, I guess most of the questions I'll leave up to the DPS troopers to answer, but we're mainly just here as an investigative tool to investigate the shooting itself.
To recap, we're now live on Channel 2. They came in, and did they ever open fire? Or tell us about what happened inside the AT&T store.
Well, about 2:31 p.m. today, the trooper who was at the location working secondary employment was in uniform, and he saw the suspects enter the store. The suspects were armed, trooper made his presence known, and a short time later, the trooper fired at the suspects, who then fled the location.
So the suspects opened fire?
This is still part of the investigation right now, so it's less than 2 hours right now. So that's what we're currently working on right now.
And can you elaborate on what kind of weapon or clothing and other things that were recovered?
It appears it was some hoodie-type clothing, some winter weather-type gear that at least one of the suspects was wearing. And as far as the weapon, that's all part of the investigation right now that we're trying to get to the bottom of.
Do you have a good description of the suspects that you're looking for?
We're currently working on the description right now. Because it happened so quick, we're trying to get those details. We do have some leads and investigators are running down actively, and that's the reason why we could certainly use the public's help in any information that they've seen, or if they know the identity of the suspects, to call 911 as soon as possible.
Tell us about the car that's out here, the Corolla. Security car, and I just wanted to know who was working as a security guard for the store, right?
Yeah, he was working secondary employment. So what that means is he was paid by the company to use his law enforcement commission to be at the site.
So
is the suspect hit? Anybody hit by the gunfire?
We do not believe so.
Can you tell us about the Corolla that's involved, the car that's here? I guess one of them drove.
Right, we believe that they drove a car here, and that's what we're trying to run down right now is tie them to the vehicle, and that's what the investigators are doing.
And can you tell us about the surveillance video you were trying to look at right now?
Right, and that's all part of the investigation that our Texas Rangers, the Houston Police Department, are going to be looking at and combing through that to get additional evidence that'll help solve this.
And what kind of guns did you recover? Can you say specifically?
We're still working on that. That's still part of the investigation.
So if you're asking for the public's help about, calling in these guys, but don't approach them. You think they might have guns? You think they're wearing masks? I mean,
right. Well, we certainly believe that they're violent since one of them was armed. So certainly do not approach them. Call 911. Something suspicious, maybe somebody running through your backyard through here. People yelling, things like that are certainly out of the norm. Small little bits of information that the public can give us that can be helpful in finding these suspects and making sure that they're no longer a danger to the community.
What are next steps?
So that's going to be part of the investigation. It's going to continue on through here with the Texas Rangers and with the Houston Police Department. We're happy to report that the trooper was not injured in this, and so we've got a protocol that will begin following on that, and that will detail his actions along with the Houston Police Department.
Any general description of the suspect, why he's hiding the black?
We're still working on that right now because the video that we're working on didn't have a lot of detail to it. We're still trying to get that information right now.
And how many masks can you see their faces?
We recovered one mask that they were wearing. And so, again, because it's only less than 2 hours old, trying to get that detail is a little bit difficult right now. So we did recover one mask the suspects we believe are wearing.
Yeah, we see a bullet hole on the window.
They're on black mask weapons. I mean, they were sitting here kind of plotting. What's your just overall thoughts on it? I mean, there's a second chance job place right there where they take felons and stuff like that. Just your overall thoughts on what all happened.
Right. Well, what I can say is it appears that they came to the location in a vehicle and then they walked into the location with a weapon. And our trooper ended up firing at them after they came into the location after making his presence known. But that's where we'll park that conversation for right now.
Did the suspects point to their gun at any point?
That's all part of the investigation right now. Yeah, that's why we have the Rangers out here, the Houston Police Department out here, looking at evidence, looking at videos to piece all that together.
About how many other people were in the store?
I don't know how many other people were in the store.
Nobody else hurt?
No, we're not aware of anyone else that was hurt.
And you don't know if these guys were hit?
It doesn't appear to be right now.
It looks like there's at least one gunshot that you can see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our trooper did fire. Oh, it's Lieutenant Craig Cummings. It's CRAIG CUMMINGS with the Texas Department of Public Safety.
Sorry, was it one shot or multiple shots?
We're still in the process of investigating that right now.
You say the Rangers were the lead?
What's that?
Who's the lead?
It's going to be a joint investigation between the Houston Police Department.
So, I know it sounds confusing, but in regards to the shooting itself, the actual officer shooting, our investigative team handles all officer-involved shootings in the city of Houston. There's also attached to that a robbery that was going to occur and the other criminal elements of what occurred here that this deputy stopped today. I mean, this trooper stopped today. So that part is a whole different investigation that we're also following up, like he said, with criminal investigations and with some of the troopers.
Any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, a press conference with DPS and HPD after a uniformed DPS trooper working a second job fired shots at some robbery suspects.
Yeah, they're looking for at least a couple of suspects. Not a lot of description available at this time. They're still in the very preliminary portion of the investigation. We'll keep you updated as soon as we receive more information on this. We'll be right back.